No one, absolutely no one who cares about the existence of that video or its contents will have their opinions changed by it. There is nothing meaningful to be taken away from this story. Learn your lesson, or don't. Bye.
I mean, he's not even watched the video. Before we get into the main stuff, I just wanted to quickly show you this, which is, you know, a kind of personal interest of mine more than anything else, but I got some very bad news. Unfortunately, Cardposting has released a video about Keffals, and I don't know if it's good or not. Cardposting. Oh. Sorry. He's like a lefty. It's only for a couple of minutes long, so I thought I'd just chuck it in here now. He's like a sort of lefty creator. He got into a beef with Alec Gunter recently over his video series about dog whistling, okay? Yeah, he's got a very sharp tongue, but he may have coped and swept about the Keffals stuff. But before we get into the main thing, let's have a look.
If you're watching this, you know what the title is referring to, so I'm not going to explain the context here. But I just wanted to articulate, as simply and as quickly as I could, why the new, big, vaunted Mutahar Keffals video is absolutely nothing. I know a lot of people online have been anticipating the release of that video, and a lot of people have seen it, and surely many more will likely flock to watch it in the coming days and weeks and months. But it's nothing. It's a big nothing burger.
Okay. Why? Could you perhaps provide some more kind of substantive arguments, or perhaps some timestamps or something like that?
Firstly,
okay,
no one, absolutely no one who cares about the existence of that video or its contents will have their opinions changed by it. Regardless of what arguments the video makes.
I don't think that's true. I think he's already been proven wrong about this, because, I mean, TYT have literally just issued a fucking correction on their previous reporting on Keffals. So, I mean, maybe it was released before that, but I mean, that's something, right? I mean, it's not, I'm not saying it's fucking crazy. You know, TYT are kind of a bit more willing to call stuff out now, but I mean, it's not nothing. It's something at least. This is total sweeping. And obviously, we got the now recording thing with Brianna Wu on. I think Brianna Wu is just being a very slimy political operator, but, you know, ostensibly, you could argue, Brianna Wu can disavow Keffals. So I don't know. I think it's early days. I think there's more to come. You know, to me, a lot of progressives are doing the like the naked gun scene, right? They're doing the naked gun scene. Nothing to see here, guys. Don't look. Don't look. I mean, Keffals is quite fucking literally. Keffals Reddit is quite literally posting memes saying, "Just ignore it all." Just ignore it all. I mean, like, clearly there's an effort to stop people from seeing it because they're worried about the consequence if people do see it, you know? But yeah, I just think that this guy is coping and sneeding, to be honest.
Regardless of whether or not those arguments are made accurately, regardless of whether or not it's slickly edited or presented, and completely regardless of whether or not the people discussing it online even actually watched the video in question or not. No one's mind will be changed. Realistically, everyone eagerly lined up to watch this Mutahar video will already be not too fond of Keffals. And I imagine, if the format of the video itself looks anything like any other internet drama exposé essay, most people watching it all the way through aren't even going to hear any accusation they aren't already familiar with, and nothing will change. Similarly, if you're just some random reactionary schlub on the internet, hell, even if you were the most terminally online Keffals hater in the world...
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously, some of the stuff is been gone over quite a bit. I don't think that's... Yeah, we're the reactionary schlubs, by the way. Okay. That's us. That's us. I just think for me, you know, I understand there's a lot of, you know, information that's already been presented and people know about this and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think he's watched the video, which is pretty pathetic to make a video about a topic that you haven't seen before. But I'm not like under any illusion that anything crazy is going to happen off the back of it. But I think that, you know, TYT issuing a correction, having previously covered Keffals very favorably, is not earth-shattering, but it's something at least, you know, and Who knows? Maybe there'll be more to come. Maybe there'll be more corrections to come. I think the problem is journos are disgusting, despicable freaks, and they're unwilling to admit fault, unwilling to admit an error. So they'll do everything they possibly can to avoid issuing any sort of correction. Because they don't want to be embarrassed about having got something so wrong before, you know? And I think the only way that you might see some movement with that is if people like, I don't know, Jesse Single is probably a good example, right? Jesse Single is someone who has like very much held the feet to the fire through this whole time and has issued out critical reporting in opposition of all the other fucking outlets that were reporting on this. I mean, I don't know. I just think that they're going to be very resistant to issuing corrections. And I think you've got to kind of consider that's the case, you know? It's like the deck is stacked against the truth, you know? But yeah, I mean, this is very typical. Like, he's clearly not watched the fucking video. Clearly doesn't know anything about it. Clearly doesn't have any insight into the situation. So he's just, you know, just coping and seething.
You would still have no capacity to actually impact her life at all. And on the other side of the coin, even if the video was top to bottom, all solid gold, bulletproof arguments demonstrating why Keffals is the worst person to ever live, not a single fan of hers is going to suddenly have the scales fall from their eyes, are they? And again, there would be nothing anyone in the Keffals audience could do to stop that sort of video from being made and released. You have zero mechanism.
I just don't think this is true. I think that there's already people that are starting to ask more questions, like you see on the Reddit. Like, in Keffals' community now, right? The narrative is, ignore it. Why do you care? It's a beef between two YouTubers, right? They are desperately trying to stop the fan base from watching the video. I think that, you know, fucking, who is it? Fucking Demon Mama. Demon Mama. I know Demon Mama's like, whoever, but Demon Mama, even after the thread came out, the Starvoxia thread, which likely came out as a result of the Mutahar video. I mean, I think this is like a slow burn, but I think over time, Keffals will just lose more and more allies until there's like no hope of any sort of redemption or any way forward, personally. But yeah. And actually, David, that's actually a fairly reasonable point. You know, if there's more of a conversation about DIY hormones, perhaps it helps some people have more information about it too. I don't know. The thing is I just don't really see how, like, I get that, you know, it's kind of old information and stuff like that, whatever you want to say about it, but having it in one place, clearly in one video, laying all of it out that you can direct people to if they want to know more about it, I just think that's just at worst a neutral thing, if not a positive thing. I don't really see how it's a negative. And any extra attention that's drawn to it, I think, is a benefit, you know, even on a small basis. And this guy is very ideologically compromised too, so he's like a lefty. So obviously he's wanting to kind of suppress, I think, any negative perception or attention going in that direction too.
To censor the Mutahars of the world, and you never will. The whole thing will just be grist in the content mills of drama react streamers for maybe a week or two.
Hey, that's me!
Story, and the cycle will repeat. I know that sometimes the I'm above it all attitude comes off as arrogant or cynical or aloof, but it's also quite often correct, so I will say it, and I'm sticking to my guns here. There is nothing meaningful to be taken away from this story. Learn your lesson, or don't. Bye.
I mean, he's not even watched the video, dude. I mean, this is like only one small step above people that are just moaning about the fucking thumbnail. You might as well delete this video completely because I watched Muta's expose and it was totally eye-opening to me. Uh-oh. Your video is a nothing burger. Isn't this video a nothing burger? No. None of the people invested in the drama are going to have their minds changed by your video. I mean, fair point. Mutahar helped expose child predators and potentially help save youth from interacting with horror. Fucking hell, these comments. The thing is as well, is this, where are these people coming from? I think someone posted this on Twitter, maybe. Maybe it isn't his fans. Hey! You were in chat a second ago, weren't you? Yay? Yeah, I guess it's probably gotten a bit of like attention or something, but yeah, card posting L, rare card posting L. Sadly, unfortunately, on that one, but hey, it is what it is. You can't win them all.